Visual versification of the prologue to Piers Plowman by William Langland. A Daydreamer production. Prologue of Piers Plowman by William Langland. In a summer season, when soft was the sun, I shaped me into shrouds as I a sheep were, inhabit as an hermit, unholy of works, went wide in this world wonders to hear. As on a May morning on Malvern hills, me befell a furly, of fairy me thought. I was weary of wandering and went me to rest under a broad bank by a bourne side. And as I lay and leaned and looked on the waters, I slumbered into a sleeping, it swayed so merry, sounded. Then gan I to meet a marvellous swiveen, began, that I was in a wilderness, wist I never where. As I beheld into the east and high to the sun, I saw a tower on a tuft, tryly made, a deep dale beneath, a dungeon therein, with deep ditches and dark and dreadful of sight. A fair field full of folk found I there between, of all manner of men, the mean and the rich, working and wandering as the world asketh. Some put them to the plough, played full seldom, in setting and sowing swanked full hard, and won what these wasters with gluttony destroyeth. And some put them to pride, apparelled them thereafter, in countenance of clothing came disguised. In prayers and penance put them many, all for love of our Lord lived full straight, in hope to have heavenly bliss, as anchorites and hermits that hold them in their cells, covered not in country to care about move to and fro, for no lecherous livelihood their like aim to please. And some chose chaffer, they chieved the better trade, as it seemeth to our sight that such men thriveth, and some mirth to make as minstrels ken, and get gold with their glee, guiltless, I live, as japers and janglers, Judas as children, feign them fantasies, and fools them maketh, and have wit at will to work if they would. That Paul preacheth of them I will not prove it here. He who utters foul speech is Lucifer's hind. Bidders and beggars fast about went, till their belly and their bag were breadfully crammed. Fate for their food, fought at the ale. In gluttony, God wot, go they to bed, and rise with ribaldry, the robber knaves. Sleep and sorry sloth sueth them ever. Pilgrims and palmers plight them together. For to seek St. James and saints at Rome, went forth in their way with many wise tales, and had leave to lie all their life after. I saw some that said they had wise sought saints. To each a tale that they told, their tongue was tempered to lie. More than to say sooth, it seemed by their speech. Hermits on an heap with hooked staves went to Walsingham, and their wenches after. Great lobbies and long that loath were to swink, clothed them in copes to be known from others, and shaped them as hermits, their ease to have. I found their friars, all the four orders, preaching the people for profit of the womb, glossed the gospel as they good liked, for covetousness of copes construed it as they would. Many of these master friars may clothe them at liking, for their money and their merchandise march together. Since charity hath been chapman and chief to shrive lords, many furlies had fallen in a few years. But Holy Church and they hold better together. The most mischief on mould is mounting up fast. There preached a pardoner as he a priest were, brought forth a bull with bishop's seals, and said that himself might assoil them all. Of fossard of fasting, of a vowsy broken, lewd men lieved him well and liked his words, ignorant, came up kneeling to kiss his bulls. He bunched them with his brevet and blid their eyes. and wrought with his ragman rings and brooches. Thus ye give your gold, gluttons to help, and lendeth it to losels that lechery haunt. Were the bishop why blessed and worth both his ears, his seal should not be sent to deceive the people, as it is not by the bishop that the boy preacheth. For the parish priest and the pardoner part the silver, that the poor of the parish should have if they any were. Parsons and parish priests plained them to the bishop, that their parishes were poor since the pestilence time, to have a license, and leave at London to dwell, and sing there for simony, for silver is sweet. Bishops and bachelors, both masters and doctors, that have cure under Christ, and crowning in token, and sign that they should shrive their parishioners, preach and pray for them, and the poor feed, lie at London in Lent and else. Some serve the king and his silver tell, in chequer and in chancery, challenge his debts, of wards and of wardmotes, waifs and strays. And some serve as servants to lords and ladies, and instead of stewards sit and deem their mass and their matins, and many of their hours are done undevoutly. Dread is at the last, lest Christ in his consistory occurs full many. I perceived of the power that Peter had to keep, to bind and unbind, as the book telleth, how he it left with love as our Lord hight. Among for virtues, most virtuous of all virtues, that cardinals be called and closing gates, where Christ is in kingdom, to close and to shut, and to open it to them and heaven's bliss show. As of the cardinals at court, that court of that name, and power presumed in them a pope to make, to have the power that Peter had, impugn I Nelly. For in love and in lettera the election belongeth. Forth I can and cannot of court speak more. Then came there a king, knighthood he led, might of the commons made him to reign. And then came kind wit, and clerks he made, for to counsel the king and the commons save. The king and knighthood and clergy both cast that the commons should themselves find. The commons contrived of kind wit crafts, and, for profit of all the people, ploughmen ordained, to till and to travail as true life asketh. The king, and the commons, and kind wit the third, shaped law and loyalty, each life to know his own. Then looked up a lunatic, a lean thing withal, and kneeling to the king clergily he said, Christ keep thee, Sir King, and thy king rish, and laner thee lead thy land so loyalty thee love, and for thy rightful ruling be rewarded in heaven, and since in the air on high an angel of heaven, load to speak in Latin, for lewd men any could jangle nor judge that justify him should, but suffer and serve. Forth said the angel, I am king, I am prince, but you may be neither hereafter. O you who administer the sublime laws of Christ the King, in order to act better, be pious as you are just, naked law wishes to be clothed by you with a sense of duty to God. Sow such grain as you wish to reap. If the law is stripped bare by you, then let new judgment be measured out to you. If goodness is sown by you, may you reap goodness. Then grieved him a Goliath, a glutton of words, and to the angel on high answered after, as the word king is from a to rule taken, a ruler has the name only, without the fact, unless he works hard to maintain the law. And then gan all the commons cry in verse of Latin, to the king's counsel, construe whoso would. The king's precepts are for us a binding law. With that, ran there a rout of rats at once, and small mice mid them, more than 1,000, came to a council for their common profit. For a cat of a court came when he liked, and overleapt them lightly and laughed them at his will, and played with them perilously and pushed them about. For doubt of divers dreads we dare not well look, and if we grudge of his game he will grieve us all. Cratch us or claw us and in his clutches hold, scratch, that we loatheth the life ere he let us pass. Might we with any wit his will withstand, we might be lords aloft and live at our ease. A rat of renown, most renayable of tongue, said for a sovereign salve to them all, I have seen seggies, quoth he, in the city of London men bear bays full bright about their necks, and some collars of crafty work, uncoupled they wend, both in warren and in waist, where them leave liketh, and other while they are elsewhere, as I hear tell. Were there a bell on their bay, by Jesu, as me thinketh, men might wit where they went and away run. And right so, quoth that rat, reason me sheweth, to buy a bell of brass or of bright silver, and knit it on a collar for our common profit, and hang it upon the cat's horse. Then here we may, where he ride or rest or our aimeth to play, and if him list for to lake, then look we may, and peer in his presence the while he play liketh, appear, and if he wratheth, beware and his way shun. All this rat of rats to this reason assented, as then the bell was bought and on the bay hanged. Therein was rat in all the rout, for all the realm of France, that durst have bound the bell about the cat's neck, nor hang it about his halls all England to win, and held them unhardy and their counsel feeble, and let their labour lost and all their long study. A mouse that much good couth, as me then thought, struck forth sternly and stood before them all, and to the rout of rats rehearsed these words, though we had killed the cat, yet should there come another, to cratch us and all our kind, though we crept under benches. Forth I counsel all the commons to let the cat worth be, and be we never so bold the bell him to show. The while he catcheth cunnies, he coveteth not our carrion, but feedeth him all with venison, defame we him never. For better is a little loss than a long sorrow. The maze among us all, though we miss a shrew. For I heard my sire say, is 7 year past. Where the cat is a kitten, the court is full elenge. That witnesseth holy writ, whoso will it read. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child! For may no renk his rester for rats by night. For many men's malt we mice would destroy, and also ye rout of rat rend men's clothes. Near the cat of the court that can you overleap. For had ye rats your rake, ye could not rule yourselves. I say it for me, quoth the mouse, I see so much after. Shall never the cat nor the kitten by my counsel be grieved, nor carping of this collar that cost me never. And though it cost me chattel, beknow it I nold, but suffer as himself would so do as him liketh, coupled and uncoupled to catch what they may. Further each a wis white I won, wit well his own. What this metels bemeaneth, ye men that be merry, divine ye, for I any dare, by dear God in heaven. Yet hope there 100 in halves of silk. Sergeants, it seemed, that served at the bar, pleaded for pennies and pounded the law, and not for love of our Lord unloose their lips once. Thou mightest better meet mist on Malvern hills, than get a mom of their mouth till money be showed. Barons and burgesses and bondsmen also I saw in this assembly, as ye shall hereafter. Bakers and brewers and butchers many, woolen websters and weavers of linen, tailors and tinkers and tollers in markets, masons and miners, and many other crafts. Of all kinds living labourers leapt forth some, as dykers and delvers that do their deeds ill. And driveth forth the long day with Diu save Dame Emmy. Cooks and their knaves cried, hot pies, hot. Good geese and grice. Go we dine, go we. Taverners unto them told the same. White wine of Alsace and wine of Gascony. Of the Rhine and of La Rochelle, the roaster defy. All this I saw sleeping, and 7 siths more.